Shabbat Shalom Yasha'Allah. Anya Khratiza Allah. Ban lawyer, Ban Yasha'Allah. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise and thanks to Yahawah and YAHAWAH for having us here tonight on the Shabbat day, on this day of rest. Tonight we're going to go through a brief topic concerning how we get our leap years. Because I know it's in Israel, a lot of people are being confused as to when a leap year is and how you make the calculations. That's why a lot of their feast days are off. Now, I know a lot of people don't subscribe to the book of Enoch, but this is where we're going into tonight. And we're going to prove what Enoch says here in our everyday calendar, right? Because the scripture, the Bible, doesn't give you a description or a timetable for the moon or the sun cycle or the stars. Neither does the Apocrypha. The only place you're going to find this here cycle is in the book of Enoch. And I'm going to read it here. We are in the book of Enoch, chapter 74. And I'm going to start here at verse 11. And it says, "And the overpass of the sun and of the stars amount to 6 days. In 5 years, 6 days every year come to 30 days. And the moon fall behind the sun and the stars to the number of 30 days. Verse 12, "And the sun and the stars bring in all the years exactly, so that they do not advance or delay their position by a single day unto eternity," right? "But complete the years with perfect justice in 364 days," right? So I know here in Esau calendar, in the Gregorian calendar, they say the cycle is 365 and a quarter days or whatever they say. But the cycle is exactly 364 days. The moon cycle is 354 days. 10 days shorter than the solar cycle, right? But it says here, it's perfect in its rotation. So let's go on. Verse 13 says, "In 3 years, there are 1,092 days, and in 5 years, 1,820 days, so that in 8 years, there are 2,912 days," right? Now, this is the solar year, right? They're calculating here how many days it takes the sun to rotate in 3 years, right? Verse 14, "For the moon alone, the days amount in 3 years to 1,062 days," right? So in 3 years, the moon takes 1,062 days and the sun takes 1,092 days, giving a difference of 30 days or an entire month, right? So there's a significance why the book of Enoch used 3 years, 5 years, and 8 years. I'm going to show you that right now. Verse 14, "For the moon alone in its days amount to 3 years to 1,062 days. And in 5 years she falls 50 days behind," right? "And in 5 years there are 1,770 days, so that for the moon, the days in 8 years amount to 2,832 days." So in 3 years, the moon falls behind 30 days. In 5 years, it falls behind 50 days. And in 8 years, it falls behind 80 days. There's a significance for that, because every 3rd year, every 5th year, and every 8th year, consequently, is a leap year, or what we call in this world a leap year, where there are 13 months in the lunar cycle, right? We're going to show you that just now, right? Verse 16, "For in 8 years she falls behind to the amount of 80 days. All the days she falls behind in 8 years are 80. And the year is accurately completed in conformity with their world stations, and the stations of the sun, which rise from the portals through which the sun, rises and sets 30 days. So all of this has to go through a certain cycle. They go through certain portholes in the heavens that we can't really see, but they have a pattern and a circuit that they run, the sun and the moon, right? So I'm going to show you now on the computer that cycle. Now I went back to the year 2009 and went forward to 2024, showing you the 3, the 5, and the 8 cycle consequently, just as the book of Enoch says. So here is right now, you're going to take a look. Okay, here we have a calendar or a list of the months or the years that I put together from, as you see, 2009 all the way down to 2024. Now, as you see over here, these are the days that the new moon or the new year would begin. You have there March 26th, April 14th, April 3rd, March 22nd, April 10th, March 30th, March 20th, April 7th, March 27th, April 15th, April 5th, March 24th, April 11th, April 1st, March 21st, and April 8th, right? So we're going to start here with 2009. And the rule that we have in right here, to go with what we read here in the book of Enoch, is that our starting point, or the critical point that we have here, is the equinox, the spring equinox. Because the spring equinox is the beginning of the spring. And our new year, according to the scripture, is what? Abib, which falls when? In the springtime. So if your new year is not in the spring, then you are in the wrong season. If your new year falls before the equinox, you're in winter. I know we complain about Esau having his months, his New Year's in the winter time, in the dead of the winter in January. But guess what? We're doing the same thing when we keep our New Year in the winter equinox, right? So our New Year has to be in the spring equinox, right? That'll be the beginning of our year. That's when Abib, or spring forth, would begin during the period of the spring equinox, which is from March 20th. Well, it could fall, according to their cycle, the equinox, the spring equinox, falls anywhere between March 19th, March 20th, or March 21st. Most of the time, I'd say maybe 8 or 9 out of 10 times, it'll fall on the 20th. But sometimes it does fall on the 19th, and sometimes it does fall on the 21st. So those 3 days is going to be our focal point, right? So we're going to start counting months and years going all the way back from 2009. And on the right side here, what I have is the actual calendar. Right? This here says moon phase for 2010. So what we're going to do is we're going to scroll down, and we're going to go back to 2009. Right? Now over on this side, it says in 2009, the new year was March 26th. Now notice March 26th is after the equinox. The equinox is March 19th, 20, or 21st. So March 26th is after the equinox. So March 26th on the calendar here, see it right there? March 26th would be the New Year's. So now we're going to start counting months. And we're going to see how many months it is from March 26th. We're going to count 13 months, because we all know that a year has 12 months. That's a given. The 13th month is a special month. It can either be the leap year, or it can be the first of the new year. right? So we're going to count from March 26th, the first month, the second month, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we're going to go over and continue in 2010. Now we have 11, 12. The 12th month here in 2009 was what? February 13th. The 13th month here is what? Look at it good. March the 15th. Now, is the 13th month before the equinox or is it after the equinox? As you can plainly see that March 15th, the new moon was before the equinox, making March of 2009, or actually, yes, 2009, a leap year. Right? So just like I showed you over here, the ones that are in red represent the leap years. So this here was a leap year. Why? Because it had 13 months. Now to the right of it, I put a 5. Now that 5 corresponds to the 5 in the book of Enoch, because there's going to be 3, 5, and 8. So now according to Enoch, this is the 5th leap year. So the next leap year should be 8, which would be 3 years after this 5th year. So we're going to count, this is going to be 5, 6, 7, 8. But we're going to go through the calendar here on the right, and we're going to count every year from 2010 to 2013 and see whether there are 12 months in that year or 13 months, right? So we're going to go back over to the calendar, right? So we're here in 2010, right? Which is a leap year, and that would make April 14th, what? The new year, right? So we're going to start counting months from April 14th, right? So we have 1 month, second, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess I miscount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then we're going to go over to 2011. Lunar year for 2011. And we're going to have 10, 11, 12. The 12th month is March 4th. The 13th month is what? April the 3rd. Now it's April 3rd before or after the equinox. You will see that April 3rd is after the equinox, making it the first month of the year and making this month, this year, not a leap year because it'll have 12 months, right? So now we're going to move on from 2011 to 2012, and we're going to count the months once again, starting from where? April 3rd being the first month, right? So we have April 3rd being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to shoot over to 2012. And you'll see we have 11, 12, 13, right? So the 12th month is February the 21st. The 13th month is what? March the 22nd. Now, is March 22nd after the equinox? Yes, it is. The last day of the equinox would be the 21st. So March 22nd is after the equinox, making March 22nd the first month of the year. So now you have the year from 2010 to 2011 being 12 months, 2011 to 2012 being 12 months. So now we're going to go from 2012 to 2013 and see how many months we have in there. So the new year would start here at what? March 22nd. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Shoot over to 2013. 11, 12, 13. Now in March of 2013, as you see, the 13th month falls on March 11th. March 11th is what? Before the equinox, making March 11th what? The 13th month of that year. So this year is a leap year. Now over here, I showed you here, between March 2012 and March 2013 is what is in red, which has 13 months, being a leap year. So the new year in that year would be April the 10th, right? So we have 5, 8. So according to the calendar, the next 3 years should be another leap year, right? So we'll see if that happens. So we're going to go back over here. So now we have the 8th. So we have April 10th as being what? The first of the year or the new year. So we're going to start counting from April 10th. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Shoot over to 2014. 10, 11, 12, 13. Now the 13th month here in 2014 is what? March 30th. Is March 30th before or after the equinox? It is after the equinox, making 2014 having 12 months. It is not a leap year, right? So March 30th would be the first month of that year or the new year. So now we're going to go from 2014 to 2015. Starting where? At March 30th being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13. Right? So the 13th month in 2015 is what? March 20th. Now, March 20th happened to fall right on the equinox. Now, if the new moon falls on the equinox, you do not count it as a 13th month. You would count it as the first month, right? So this year, 2015, or actually this is 2014, would not be a leap year. The 12th month would be February 18th. The first month would be March 20th, right? So now we're going to go from 2015 to 2016, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to count from March 20th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13. Now we have here March the 8th, right? So March the 8th is when? Before the equinox. What year is this? 2016, right? 2016, March the 8th is before the equinox, given the year from 2015 to 2016. How many months? 13 months. So 2015 to 2016 is what? A leap year. Now let's go over here and see if I have that on here. Marked in red from 2015 to 2016, a new year, marked number 3. Now if you came from the 8th, right, this would be 1, 2, 3. So now you're starting a new cycle of 358. So according to the cycle, the next 2 years would be a leap year. Not 3, but 2. Now let's see if that holds true. So we're going to start from April 7th, 2016. All right, we're still here in 2016, as you can see. So April 7th would be what, the first month? All right, so we're going to start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, right? This is March the 27th in the year 2017. March 27th is after the equinox, making it the first month of the year, because the 12th month is February the 26th. The 13th month is the 27th, being after the equinox, so this would not be a leap year. The new year would start March 27th, right? So that's 1 year. So let's start from 2017. I'll show you that again. 2017. We're going to go to 2018, right? 27, we're going to start on the 27th, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13. Now the 13th month here in 2018 is what day? March the 17th. Is that before or after the equinox? It's clearly before the equinox, making from 2017 to 2018 what, a leap year, because it has 13 new moons. So is that indicated over here? From 2017 to 2018 has 13 new moons, right? So from the 3, you have 3, 4, 5, right? Now you have the 5 here, because now it's 50 days. So this is the second set of new moons. So we're going to continue on until we get down to 24. So we're going to go from 2018 to 2019. So the next leap year should be between 2020 and 2021. Let's see if that's hold true. So we'll go back over here to the calendar. We're in 2018, and we're going to start counting once again, starting from April 15th being the first month. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10, 11, 12, 13. The 13th month is April the 5th. The 12th month is March the 6th. We're concerned with the 13th month, which is clearly after the equinox, making April 5th the first month, and this year only having 12 months, not a leap year. So we're going to continue on adding. We're going to go on from April 5th, 2019 to 2020, right? April 5th, we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13. The 13th month in 2020 is March 24th, which is after the equinox, making that year 2020 not a leap year. The 12th month would be February the 23rd. March the 24th would be the first of that year. So now we're going to continue on from 2020 to 2021. Now, according to the cycle, this should have 13 months. So we're going to start here on the 24th, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13. The 13th month is what day? March the 13th. Is that before or after the equinox? It is clearly before the equinox, making from the year 2020 to 2021 what? A leap year. As you see, I have over here from March 2020 to 2021, we have that in red. It has what? 13 months, making it a leap year. And from the 5 here, we can count 5, 6, 7, 8. So now you have a clear view of the 3, the 5, and the 8. So we're going to do one more 3-year span, which should be 3 years. Because once you finish the 3, 5, 8, you start again with 3 years and start the cycle all over again. So we're going to go from April 11th, 2021, back over here on this calendar, April 11th, and we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10, 11, 12, 13. The 13th month falls on April 1st, which is clearly after March the 20th or 21st, making this April 1st the first of the year or the new year. March the 2nd would be the 12th month. So from 2021 to 2022 is not a leap year. We're going to move on. Starting at where? April 1st. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13. March the 21st falls on the 21st of March. Now remember I said that the leap year, the equinox can fall either on the 19th, 20th, or 21st. So here it is, we have the equinox on, or the new moon on the 21st. So we're not going to count this as a leap year. We're going to count this as the first month of the year. Why? Because it falls on the equinox, making from 2022 to 2023 only having 12 months. Now we're going to move on. So we're going to start from March 21st. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13. The 13th month here is what? March the 10th, which is clearly before the equinox, March 19, 20, or 21st, making from 2023 to 2024 what? A leap year. See what I have over here in the red? March 2023 to 2024 has 13 months, making this what? A new year or a leap year. And from the 8, you start the cycle again. 1, 2, 3. So now you're starting again with the 3. Now if I continue to go, you're going to get the 5, the 8, then the 3, the 5, and the 8. But I can see I have done enough from the 5 to the 8 to the 3 to the 5 to the 8 to the back to the 3 to show that there is a definite pattern that matches the book of Enoch. The Bible won't give you that. That's why some of us having our feast days early or late. Some of us having our feast days in the wintertime. Some of us had Purim in February when 2017 to 2018 was that leap year. The leap year is not 2018 to 2019. It was this year, right? So that's why a lot of our calendars are off, because we're not going according to what the scripture says. And like I said, some people don't go by the book of Enoch. It's got its bones in it, but you got to take the good and the bad. You got to take out what's good in there. You know, just like the scriptures. The scriptures got some bones in there, but you have to get into the Hebrew to understand which bones are in there. You know, they put Easter in the Bible, but when you go into the original script, you will see it's actually the Passover or the Pesach. You know, these are certain bones in Matthew 21. There, you know, so there's a lot of scriptures in there that you have to go back into the Hebrew to get the correct translation and understanding. But I hope you can see that the cycle here, the 358, is what really matters. And this is how we calculate our leap years, right? So with that, I'm going to say Shalom. All praises to Yahawah Ba'ashem HaMashiach, Yahweh Shai, and have a blessed Shabbat. And all praises and be blessings unto our people of Israel. Hope we get delivered out of this captivity, and that we live to see another Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.